Hello, this is Bill Sellers 5 with one of the reviewers at golfdesignforum.com, and we are going to do a review of the Isles GC 1989, which is a course by Loch Ness Monster, I believe. He is a member of golfdesign.com. Submitted this course for a not grading, but for suggestion and review. It is a beta course. So let's get started. This morning I'm playing from the tips, playing at noon with low wind, and just kind of waiting for it to load up here. So we're on T1, the tee box. We can see a pretty good sight line off of here, although if you were to gradually lower the front out here in the rough right in front of me, if you were to gradually lower that deck down a bit, you're not going to lose any elevation. Make your fuzzy brush very large, almost to cover the whole thing, and start about, start so that the brush is just on the edge of your tee deck there, where it starts to go down, where it starts to graduate. If you start going, if you start at 0 0 0 and you start gradually fluctuating down. Anyway, Crazy Canuck has a great tutorial on that, on elevations. So anyway, check that out. Let's see what we got down here. So this is a long drive to a par 4, and it just seems pretty straightforward out here. The green may be a little small, and also your transition is not going into the front of the green. It's going off to the sides, like a little, like kind of, it just could be tightened up a little, so that it comes more into the sides of the transition. Also, you probably, since you have rough on the outside of since you added rough to the outside, a first cut to the outside of your fairway, you may want to add a first cut of rough around your green. Again, personal preference, and I guess. Your color scheme here is very typical for tropical. Very typical for tropical courses. So the bright greens. You gotta excuse me a second. My dog picked up something here that she shouldn't have. So All right, so back to the course. All right, so we're gonna go with driver, or we're gonna go with 3-wood. I'm gonna go with 3-wood because of it being 100 yards down. Yep. Move over a little bit for the wind direction. It's only 1 mile an hour though. And let's see what my tempo's like this morning. It's going to be very fast. So we're going to wind up in that palm tree. All right. Okay. Contouring around the green, around the fairway. Looks good. Looks as if you smoothed it around the fairway there with a small fuzzy brush, or with a, and your although it looks like maybe your water, if you added a water body, no, it doesn't look like you did. Okay. Looks like that water is all made to be, is all from the water table itself. We got a bridge over here. Taking us to, we'll address that a little later. Okay, so we're nice work with the rocks. You could sink them a little bit, probably. I would. Looks like your green is running a little bit. So your sloping of your green is pretty good. So, so our second shot, we're going to want to come in probably about here. Try to see if we can't roll it up onto the green. So, and we're pretty level. It's pretty straight through. Sight line is good. Got some palm trees up on a hill and a slope, kind of in the theme of your island thing here, tropical island thing here. All right, let's go. Didn't quite make the green on that, but our score is not important here. So we're kind of just looking at the course itself. All right. Let's see what our green speed is. I set the green speed at moderate, so it looks as though we have some beads running on your green grid, which is good. We want them moving, but in the first few, we want it pretty flat within the first few around the hole, so that the ball will come to a rest if hit close to the hole. Again, oh, okay. So let's give it another shot. Like I said, your green might be a little small on this, for this, as long a shot as you have there. And some outside sloping might have been a good idea there too. Your greens are kind of flat around around the outside of your greens, not the green itself. Okay, so we're looking at another level shot here. We're looking at a level shot, which around a which we're going to go around a bend here on your second shot. So a lot of, let's say some of this right in here could be, I mean, that bunker that's behind here, this bunker right here, is really, really not in play. Behind that hill there. So, behind this hill right here, not in play. This bunker is not visible in your sight line. So, you would want to raise this area right here. Raise this area gradually so that you're not losing your beach and you don't turn it into a cliff. You want to raise this part of your fairway right in here. Raise this part gradually. Or you can lower. Let me get my camera back in. Let me get my camera back in control here. Anyway, this part of your fairway could be lowered, or the back side of it raised, so that you can see that bunker. In fact, I would lower that part of the bunker and move it. Give yourself a little more space between, say, give yourself a little more space between your first rough and your heavy rough. Give yourself some more space. A little less fairway in here. Kind of contour it. Take the splines and move them more into the fairway. Just a bit. And then you can lower this part of your bunker. Deepen it up. And you've got a pretty good thing there. I have no problem with the shape of your bunker. Just some friendly advice. So we're going to get quite a bit of roll and I always shoot fast most of the time. So all right, so I'll take that as a fairway shot. All right, so the sight line. Sight line is good. You can see your second shot. You can see exactly where you're going. Everything is level. I might have given that area a little elevation. Your green and your approach area, I might have given that a little bit of elevation. Let's go see what we got up there. All right. So you have a little beach running in here. You have kind of a beachy area running in there. I would say it's really hard to get a beach to come off of your water. It's just really hard to do. The game won't allow you any more of a narrow band than what you have there. So since you can see this area, since you can see this dark area right here, and that grassy area, I might have moved my brush a little more up in there and flatten that out. It'll take care of it. If you take your fuzzy brush and run over it, and then move the brush, then move your sand brush a little more into the water, it'll take care of that dark area right there, or any other dark areas that you might have along your beach there. All right, so let's back up. Okay, so we're 9 feet down. I'm gonna go with this shot right here. And I'm gonna go at 100%. Which is gonna roll me right and give me a pretty good putt. Pretty nice putt. Let's see what your green looks like. Got your green running downhill quite a little bit. Nice and flat around the pin. Get your green running to the left, which you've done a good job here. Again, maybe you might want to have some rough off the side of the fringe there. You might want to have a first cut. It just kind of sharpens things up, makes it look a little better. Your vistas and your backgrounds are really good. Looks like you stayed within the realm of your theme. Third hole. Probably not enough. So you want to be able to reach. You want to be able to reach your the green, but on a par 3 with not having to use driver. I mean, the thing is it's unless you want to play rip it and grip it golf. So I would have I would not do a 300-yard par 3. Just saying. And perhaps your bunker depth around that bunker could be a little deeper. And this bunker could be a little deeper. Nice concept, though. Nice concept. I'm going to try with a driver to make the par 3. You want to be able to get on the green in one. So, which I guess if that shot would have made it, it would have been. So, that shot would have been better placed. All right, so here I see a little bit of things we need to talk about. Your bunkers need to not. So your bunkers need to not go into the fairway without a little bit of heavy rough around them. or a little bit of first cut. Because, first of all, they're hard to maintain that way. Second of all, it's just not um, visually interesting in the game. Also, you have bunkers that are going into the green with no separation of uh, fringe or um, any kind of first cut. Or so you need to back your bunkers off of your green a little bit, and you need to have some kind of a separation between the fairway and the green. Not even sure you have a fringe here. Not even sure there's a fringe there. To tell you the truth. Trying to see one, but I don't see it. All right. Hmm. That random bush right there probably needs to go. Need to clean up some of this auto-generated plants. Um, that random planting in there just takes away from the prettiness of the course in the maintained areas. So um, it's just my opinion. Okay, so we've got a um, another short par four here, um, which would leave you um, anyway. Let's just play it out and see how it looks. 7 foot up. I'm gonna go with the driver just to get there. I think I might be having some issues with my video card. Or I might need to turn my settings down some on my video card. Alright, so we're 52 yards, or 50 some yards, on a mounded green. Not a bad idea. You just might want to take the severity of it down a little bit. I don't like to see red slopes in the middle of greens. You get back more to the orange side, unless you're actually building a shelf, and you might want to tear those up from the front to the back of the green. Again, you might want to put a bit of first cut rough around your green. The pond is planted in the background. It's planted fairly well. Um, if it's going to be a hazard, it's going to be for a hazard and not just for looking at. You might have want to move your green a little closer to the pond. Hmm. Okay. So, nice looking clubhouse or whatever it is up there on the hill. That was a nice point, nice feature there. Um, I like the sloping that you have, so you can see that bunker in your next hole. Um, for your next hole, I can see that you can see that it's going up there. Again, you might want to do a little sculpting on your bunkers because they look a little flat and not the way they would look on a real course. And I realize that this is a fantasy course, um, but you may see it. You might, some realistic things are not a bad thing. All right. So what does that give us? That gives us a par. So, nice back view of the ocean there. And where are we going with this? Kind of off to the right there, behind your palm trees in the front. You probably could have put a little. Take your uh, circle brush and heavy rough, and took a little bit more of that out, the dirt and the dirt. And I think you were trying to create a cliffside there, which is cool. But a little bit of it looks like it might be in somewhat of a maintained area, so, and you may not have irrigation there, so I guess, it is what it's worth. Just for visualization, you might want to put a little more. Maybe I can get over there. See, you're right about where my aiming marker is there. Right in there. You might want to put a little more heavy rough in that area, right in there. And that might be nitpicking. So, again, your bunkers are low to the outside by the ocean and high to the inside by the fairway. So you might want to flip that around. Lower your fairway, give it a little bit of a trap right in there, so that if on a poor played shot, it hits the bunker comes into play. Exactly. You know this, and you can't see this. So once again, I know I say this a ton of times. Sightlines, sightlines, sightlines. These bunkers here, these bunkers right here, they could have been off over here. I'm not understanding the purpose for them being in the fairway. I don't believe they're in play. If so, then you didn't give them enough landing area. then you did not give them enough landing area in front of my marker, right in here. You didn't give them enough landing area. Plus, it's sloped down from there, and if you made a shot right in there, you may wind up in the ocean because you don't have anything to stop it, stop the ball from going there. So, now, could be you designed it that way to keep them from ripping and gripping. If so, remember you're 300 yards away and you want to see where you're going at 300 yards away. So, again, sight lines, sight lines, sight lines. So we've gone up the hole a bit here. Again, some of your greens are not. You asked the question if you thought you should make your greens tougher. Well, actually, you've kind of made it you're hard to get there. So once you get there, you don't want. I mean, once you get there, you want to be rewarded for making a good shot. So maybe not. Your greens could move a little faster. You can do that by increasing the green speed, but you should let the player do that. Let's hit the green. We're going to have a long putt. Fairly large bunker. I got no problem with that, but you might want to bring the back edge of it up. You might want to bring the back edge of that bunker up. I guess that's to deter you from the long shot, right? So you want it to go ahead and catch it. Catch the ball if it goes in there. Also, you'd be able to see it more if you bring it up. All right. So we're on the 6th. These sight lines appear from here appear to be better. You can see pretty much where you're going. I think I would have made this bunker a little bigger and brought it back towards me. I like your little beach area there. Again, maybe that bush looks a little random, along with the other one. Doesn't look like you. Maybe you did some random planting. Maybe you left. Maybe you did leave some of the stuff there that was auto-generated. You kind of need to clean that stuff up, especially on a course like this where you're not going to have a whole lot of random bushes and stuff like that. Those bushes off to the side there look random too. And you asked about planting your beachy areas. Well, and along the water, along the beaches here. Not necessarily. Some planting might be good. But make sure it's with tropical type plants and plants that you might see. Palm trees, plants that you might see in a tropical setting. And there's a good variety of them. You're not stuck with you're not stuck with you're not stuck with just what's presented to you in the theme either. And it looks like to me you are keeping with the Caribbean type stuff or type theme here. So I would say that with some, like I said, maybe this bunker size, that's a judgment call. Um, good distance here. Good distance here between the bunker and the fairway. Um, but some, some contours and some sculpting. Don't just leave your land flat in those areas. Deepen your bunkers up. Raise the areas back here. Um, Raise the area in here. Maybe lower this a little bit in here and over towards the edge of the fairway. Um, Also, you might want to, back here off the nose of the bunker, you might want to have brought just a little bit of movement on your spline to bring your fairway into the bunker, in towards the bunker. Just a small part. That way, you're kind of keeping your line consistent here with your heavy rough and your second iron and your first cut. So this bunker, does look a little close. I'd, yeah. Enough said. Quit being picky. Overall, great look. Visually, not visually stunning, but visually interesting, I would say. So, and this seems to be a reachable 5, reachable in 2. Again, work on your transitions. See, this area right here, you could have brought your fairway in on like the same bend as your green. And this green is pretty much appropriate. I probably would have brought this end of it. I probably would have sculpted that, raised that with the sculpting tool. Probably would have raised that and flattened it off so that it's not so round and jumping, just rolling right off into the ocean there. I probably would have flattened that out with a fuzzy brush. And just set, like right where my aiming tool is, set your fuzzy brush there and just hit it a couple times at 0. And you'll be surprised at what that does. It will flatten that area out quite a bit. So we're gonna go with a 3 iron. Try to put it in between those two bunkers. See if we can't get up on the green without hitting that palm tree. Well, we did hit the palm tree, so we're gonna wind up in the sand. Again, I think you want to do the opposite, unless this is what you wanted. But I think the opposite of what you have here, you're sculpting. You might want to make your bunkers go into slope into the fairway instead of sloping into the ocean. Just my opinion. You may have designed it this way. If you did, more power to you. It's just saying that the norm is the other way around. Okay, so green. This looks more like what I would do on a green, which is if you put yourself in a bad place, then you deserve to be on a sloped area. If you put yourself in a good place, you deserve to have a fairly decent putt. So, and 12 foot is not a bad distance. 10 foot, 8 foot. So here we are on the 7th. Oh, let's take a look at this waterfall. All right. Maybe we'll take another look at it on, say, the 8th hole, if that's where we're going next. All right, so we've got another par 3, which is more in line with the distances of a par 3. Green is definitely reachable, even at a high wind. So, and again, this portion out here maybe could have been raised, or this portion right here could be not so steep and severe, and bring your land in. I realize you're flat and you got a nice green, you got a nice little got a portion of apron there. Again, take a look at your transitions. Take a look at your transitions. All right, let's take a shot. Your waterfall is, like I said, it's visually interesting. So, and your eyes brought there when you first look at it. So, your I'm going to say this again. Your green sculpting is, in my opinion, is the kind of green I like to play on. It could use a little bit more difficulty, and I'm not sure of what your skill level is with the brushes. That's pretty quick. Okay, there we go. That area, can't go back to that hole now. Okay. So let's make that bunker in the back a little bigger. Um, that bunker right out in front of us is a little small. The shape is fine. Again, your bunkers are need to. It just looks to me like you're falling into the bunker instead of playing into the bunker. It's like dropping off into the bunker, you know. Yeah. Um, when I play, I almost always choose driver off the tee, unless it's just absolutely not necessary. This right here, there's just no possible way. First of all, you can't see it from your second shot. Maybe you can if you were on the fairway. So I didn't drive to the fairway. But this is almost nearly impossible to play. Not a bad idea, but hmm. I don't think it would even be visible if you were on the. Anyway, it needs to be visible if you're going to have it. If you're going to have it there, it needs to be visible from your shot, from your second shot. Because this is almost a forced layup here. When I think this is reachable. I think this is reachable into if you were on the fairway, I think it would be reachable into. Also, if you're going to make them shoot to there, you might want to flatten that area out around there, around that bunker that's in the middle of the fairway there. Personally, I would have made that smaller and made it smaller but brought it into play. Okay. So we've already talked about having rough and fringe around your green. Bunker depth. That was a poor example of putting. I do like your looks, your vistas out onto the ocean, and your smaller islands stuck out there. Pretty nice. Okay, so what do we got here? Got 94 feet up, absolutely blind. Can we make that shot? Whoa. On a par 4. Absolutely not 100 feet uphill. This is definitely not something I would do. This seems really punitive right here. Um, unless you're really a really accurate golfer, really accurate in the game. I'm not. Um, Interesting, but not realistic, I think. And playable, sure. I mean, because I just did, and I'm a really terrible golfer. Um, as you can see, I'm +9 on the ninth hole, or +6 on the ninth hole. So where I should probably be playing at a minus. Okay, so got your maintenance buildings off to the side here that are visible. Got a clubhouse up there, clubhouse complex. Um, Coming into that. And pretty much a complex of greens up in here. So, all right. If I guess if I was going to do that, I probably would have made it smaller, and I probably would have sunk my rocks in it a bit. Let's just take a look at it. So, probably, I mean, you're planting. Um, it's my experience that, and I don't know. You might want to ask Jerry about that, or Jerry might maybe could answer that. The planting inside the sand is it's colorful and nice to look at, but probably not realistic because plants like that don't grow good in the sand anyway. Um, it's going to be terrible to maintain. Um, just probably, I mean, the concept is cool. Um, just don't think it's something you would see. I probably would have sculpted it and lowered the inside around the edges and some. Yeah, it wouldn't be so flat if it was mine. Um, And all I can see is a little bitty tiny smattering of rock right there. I think I would have. I think I would have put some bigger rocks in there, or I just get rid of that one. All right. Nice. I might lower this a few inches with the brush, with a couple of inches, so that it continues to run towards the hole. Take the fuzzy brush and circle it. You know, the circle fuzzy brush, and right there, set it right there on the hole, drop it, and make it about the size the green is, and just drop it down a couple inches. That way it pulls the ball towards the hole more. All right. So that was the ninth. $85 down with the driver. Well, we know we're not going to take the driver there, but let's go look at it. I guess we're going to get into where you have your bridges at now, because you asked about whether you would keep your bridges. So when I get over there, we'll look and see how it's constructed and what's done. Let's see where this drive winds up. Not a bad drive. Yeah. Again, your bunkers could use a bunch of sculpting. Um, let's take a look over here at your let's take a look over here at your retaining wall and your bridge. Now your bridge is planted into the plot well. From this side, I can see that that's done well. It fits in like it should. Although you may want to put some kind of a walking path, or so that, you know, a walking path done with splines and first cut of rough. Good work on your good work on your so we could have smoothed that line a little bit, but if that is your first attempt at retaining walls, you did a great job here. Trying to see the outside of your retaining wall here. Nice job. Really. Yes, you fit that into the... Took some time to do some detail. Alright. Back to the 10th. Alright, so... Alright. Again, excellent views out into the ocean off the course. Get a good look at your work on your retaining wall. We could use some sculpting and some lowering in that bunker and some lowering on the front of that bunker off to the left there. And bunker depth again. Not so much. I'm not going to say a whole lot more about the planting of the random bushes in the maintained areas. That's really personal preference, I would say. I have noticed, though, that in tropical settings like this, like in the Caribbean and the Bahamas, they're going to plant a bunch of flowers in planters and stuff like that rather than the wild areas of bushes and nice rock work in the back there. I just now noticed that. See if we can't take a look at that. So let's see if we can't take a look at that. I do like that rock work back there. So, let's go back to our putt. All right. Once again, fringe and first cut around your greens, and probably around your tee boxes too. That's a personal preference that I use, but it's up to you. You do what you want. I think it makes it look better, and of course, it is a little more maintenance. But if they're going to have to cut this right here, then they might as well cut it around the green too. You know, bunkers inside the fairway when you probably could have put them out here and they'd be a little more easier to maintain, and still have just the same present the same difficulty. There's still just as much in play. Um, Also, your bunkers, again, this should be your high side of your bunker. This should be your low side of your bunker. Um, Not sure at 300 yards if that bunker behind this one is in play. Might just be there for looks, but in the game, and we all know we don't have to pay anything for maintenance in the game. So, sight lines. Can't see anything. Can't see anything off the tee. So, you want to raise this area back here a bit, and the area where the area where my marker is, that could come down almost even, almost as low as your retaining wall is. And if you raise the area back there a little bit, makes the shot more visible. Also, it makes the shot more interesting to look at. Just just uh, something to think about. It's like you might have some more random bushes. Um, you can sink your bushes, by the way. Um, you can sink your bushes so that they go into the ground a little bit, and you can also generate different size. Okay, so more of the more of the in the this bunker could have been moved out here, and it um, it presents a problem for me. I mean, I realize that you're trying to add difficulty and strategy, but to me it serves the same purpose out here. And this, to me, this area right here looks a little mounded up. So I knew I wasn't going the whole 199 yards, so just wanted to get out here. Not sure what your sight line would be if you were on the fairway, so I'm going to get out on the fairway because we don't care about the score. If we were in this area on the fairway, I'm going to get out there on the fairway. And maybe back some where we might have been if we'd have made a good drive off the tee. That's close to the area where we might have been. So let's see what kind of a second shot, what kind of a look we have with a second shot. All right, so we're still blind, which means this area right in here needs lowered and some sculpting. Okay? Just a bit. Bring it back and bring your lowering back into this area. So also this area right in here by these bushes could be raised. And then raise it and then bring it back down in this area and then lower this area so that you can see starting about quarter way. All right. I think you get the idea anyway. So you can't see anything that you're shooting at except for the pin, which makes the course not as visually interesting to play. Just my opinion. Okay, so we're getting to a point where you're putting some depth to your bunkers. Nice idea. So, not really seeing whether we got... I'm not seeing any fringe on the green. So, like I said, we need to add some fringe and some first cut. Some first cut rough around this. And maybe you might like to see those bunkers on the back side. That could be done with some sculpting. I mean, because if you can't see them, and you're going to wind up down there anyway, if you overshoot and you wind up down there anyway, it's going to be a tough shot to get back up on the green anyway. So whether it's sand or whether it's heavy rough, you know, if you're going to have them, you might as well see them. And you'll still have a vista point from the green, but you'll be able to see where your bunker is. All right. Your views, again, are very, very nice. Okay, so this is a nice view. Great shot. Good strategy. Let's see what we got here. I can see the bunkers in my second shot here. Seem to be into play. Again, we could probably do without the bunker in the middle of the fairway there, or you need to dress it up. I just think that maybe off to the other side, off to the side. And is it in play? It's 15 feet down, so it might be in play. It's in play. It's in play with driver if you're going for it, I suspect. If that's the case, then give me more of a landing area. Go into your canal a little bit more. Give me a little bit more landing area right in here. Not a lot, but a little bit more so that you're not so choked right here. Also, you kind of pinched. I know I said something about transitions. You did a much better job with the transition. Maybe we could have done without the bunker on the right, or made it smaller, more of a pot bunker, not brought it back up. And we could have just let the water be the hazard there. Just my opinion. I am not going to play driver. I'm going to play the 3-wood. As we're going down 14 feet. And I'm probably going to catch that bunker. Nope, I'm going to wind up in front of it. On the first. Nope, in the heavy rough. That's doable. So we're going from fairway to green. No fringe. When we were speaking about fairways, Crazy Canuck has a Crazy Canuck and another guy named B101 have some excellent videos and tutorials on how to get a good transition going from fairway to green. These just are just a bit sloppy. All right, let's play the 13th. Okay. Yeah, okay, so some pretty nice concepts with your beach area there. So again, sight lines. Can't see any of the work you did. And not sure what kind of building that is there. If it's you don't really want to put a place to shelter. And you asked about bridges. Bridges can stay. You did a good job putting them in. I might do some planting with some tropical bushes or some smaller palm trees right around there. Rock work again, excellent rock work. It looks like you took some time and put a lot of detail into that rock work. These little pot bunkers here, not sure why they're there, but if you like it, go for it. Again, sight lines. So this area that I'm standing on either needs to be raised or the green area needs to be raised, or I don't know. I think I might bring this up to about the level that your pot bunkers are at. I might raise that area to the level that your pot bunkers are starting at there, because this is blind again. Too many blind shots, partner. And I'm going to go right into one of them, so I guess the purpose is served. Maybe I opened my mouth too soon. And so that's part of your beach. Or is that a bunker? Well, that's just a huge bunker. Oh my goodness. Let's play tap tap. Did I see a boat? A yacht parked in there? Nice touch. 14th. So, sight lines again. Nice touch with the buildings off to the side. They're great. They're a pretty good distance off the edge there. All right, so just some more of the same stuff. Random bushes. You're doing a good job with your objects. Um, so, um, but your bunker needs some bunker work. Needs some sculpting work. Um, you ask about well, the beach planting. I wouldn't worry too much about it. Um, this is another huge bunker. Um, just stay consistent with your bunker size. And the beach areas that you made, they're fine. Um, nice placement of objects and things like that. Your houses. Okay. And that would be the end of the 14th. Alrighty.
Oh, Maggie, come in. Sorry.
Alright, so we've got an island green here, but apparently there is not a way to get to it, so you're going to have to build your bridge or connect that area. Alright, so it looks like you still have a lot of work to do here. And put another one in the drink. I don't really have a whole lot to say about this particular hole. It really looks like you haven't quite gotten here to finish, and you may still be working on this area. So I'd like to see it in another. I'd like to play it over again after you finish working on it. Oop. Really wish I should learn how to putt. There we go. And that's the 15th. Nice concept here with the island green. I might have lowered that into the water a little bit, so it gave you a little bit more of a target concept, and maybe put a retaining wall around it. Nice rock work again out here out here. Although I might have gone on into so it's a bunker with rocks in it and grass. I think I might have, well, like I said, it's your thing, but I might have I might have made my bunker smaller and skinnier and put it in here and left this as a heavy, rough, natural area right in here, and then started my fairway over here and separated the two, so that this didn't have your little bit of sand area right in here. It just looks kind of wonky. And kind of wonder if you're giving me anything to shoot at. I know it's a par 5, but are you asking me to shoot up on this deck? It doesn't really give me any better shot at the green for a second shot. And we don't really have a landing area with 3 wood. So the only really landing area we have is right here with the 3 iron. that is a very small landing area right there, buddy. If you were to have a windy day, you're going to wind up in this area right here, or you're going to wind up, in there. So, since I can't play it all three ways, I'm going to take the safe shot with the 3-iron right in front of that bunker. Forced layup. And we're going to come back down the hill. Okay. So, no reward for a good shot. That was a little punitive there. Okay, so also, if I shoot to there, it's blind. Can't see the green. Can't see the green through the bunker. That's a very narrow. I would change this hole quite a bit. I'm just going to take it like it is. And so I've already talked about bunker depth, bunker sculpting. You know, you have a lot of good things going on here with your objects and your attention to detail. Some of your bushes, again, seem randomly planted. I don't have any problem with your trees at all. I don't have any problem with your greens. They don't seem to be. I've got them turned way down and to moderate, and I do not see any problem with them. Even at 187, they'd be playable and present a challenge. So. Oop. Maybe I should learn how to putt. Okay. Let's take a look at the 16th. Sightline's not terrible here. Well, yeah, I guess you need to lower the front. Lower the front of the fairway there so you could see that. Yeah, I probably would do that. I probably would lower the land so that I could see more of where I'm shooting to. Alright, so I can't see up onto my green deck. Probably want to maybe that area where the bunker's at, in the front of the bunker, you might want to lower that down a bit too. And in this area right here, you may want to bring your bunker. You're kind of close to the fairway there. Anyway.
Go get it. Go get it.
Alrighty then. Once again, I like your rock work around that bunker on your island there. I mean around your green here. Sorry. Oop. That was a close putt. We missed that. As you can see. Missed that one too. So the answer to your question, are your greens too easy? No. Not for a substandard golfer of my caliber. Let's play the 18th. Ooh, very blind. Let's see where we're going. It's kind of the same thing as we had on that other one that I saw before. Maybe we're going up into the same kind of complex. Or into that same complex. Barely getting up there with 3-wood. Driver, I think, would have put us into that planter / bunker. See if we can't just lag up there and get a little closer. Alright, so all in all, after playing the 18 holes, I'm going to say that you have some great concepts here. To answer some of your questions that you had. I hope I tried to answer some of them through the video, but I'm going to wrap it up a little bit here. The oceanside planting. Yeah, that's up to you. I thought that you had plenty of oceanside planting. I don't think you want to block your beachways, and I don't think you want to spoil the view. So your bridges were done well. I just leave them. Although I would add a bridge where you don't have any way to get to that one hole. I think it was the 15th. Bunker depth. Yeah, you need some work on your bunkers around the greens, and you need some work on your bunker sculpting. Tee boxes, they seemed to be flat and level, so I didn't see any that were over, I mean, with bad slopes on them or anything like that. So okay, so I'm going to end the video. I'm going to post this, and we're going to make a few notes on the forum. So have a good day. Like I said, I think you have some great concepts. Transitions need work. Sculpting needs work. What else can I think of? Oh, adding a first cut of rough around and fringe around your greens. You might find that will help your transitions a bit. All right, I think that's about all.